Hello, friends. It's me, Cynthia, and Marty, and Azalea. She's behind the camera.
Hi.
And we are Greengirlstudios, and this is our Wednesday edition Magic Hour. So today we have a little bit of a departure from our usual jewelry and stones and minerals and metals. Today we will be visiting with some artificial plants. I'll show it. So today, Azalea and I went over to our friend Hobie's house, and Greg, of course. Drove over. He lives about 20 minutes away in Weaverville, and we went over to his studio. He is a world famous puppeteer, and we've been working on a show pilot for the past since was it 2020? It's when we first met around the summer of 2020. And originally I went to see him to learn how to make miniature puppets. I saw a video on Facebook. It's pretty cool. And it was such an awesome puppet. Can you go get that puppet that's over there, the Joanna? What do we call it, the Joanna? It's not really a Joanna puppet, but Azalea and I would really like to look at it, and I like to think about my friend. Could be me too. I told Azalea at first, I said, "This is me," and then we were playing this music to go with it. It was so cute. So Hobie makes these tiny puppets. He makes all different sizes, but this one is made out of wood and I think antique velvet. Check this out. Isn't this so beautiful? I love it so much. And look at the little legs, it kicks. I have to make the outfit for it. So I'm going to make a little ruff and a dress. And I've been playing with it nonstop, but it's hard to do it this direction. Usually I do it in front of my face so I can see it. But isn't it so cute? I love it so much. Marty, what do you think? Yeah, the original video, his puppet is petting his cat. And the cat is like the puppets on the screen, but you don't see any of the mechanics, like any of the stuff in the behind the scenes. You just see the fairy petting a cat. And that's how I became aware of Hobie Ford. And so we've been working on a project called the World Tree, and I'll show some of the one of the drawings. Oh, I forgot to greet everyone. Hello, my friends. Hello, Cecilia. Hello, Tina. Hello, Karen. Hello, Morphing Designs. Hello, Karen. It's adorable, Karen says. Thank you. I didn't make it, but Hobie did, and I love it. So here's some of the sketches. I'll flip the thing around. But we've been building this set in his workshop, and we have about this much of it. Wait, where's my, there we have this back wall, that fireplace. We're working on the bookshelf. We have this frog done. We have, let's see, we have this part almost done. This is all done here. And we're going to do the floors and the second wall on Monday, maybe, if we can get some people together to work with. So as you can see in this drawing, we have these hanging plants, and they function as a design element and also a way to kind of hide areas of the set that, some of the stuff it's made out of fabric. Like this is all fabric. The walls and everything is made out of stretchy cotton, and that we just sewed. So it doesn't have, it's a set. So what we're doing is we're painting it, and it's every time we work on it, it looks that much better. So this morning when we went over early in the AM, we were like, let's make some of those hanging plants. And we made a bunch of them. So here's one of the hanging plants. So in about, I don't know how many years ago, these are called, the style of this is called kokedama. It's a style from Japan. And this I made with styrofoam and moss and things and fake plants. But you can, and I've made many, many, many of these with moss that I found outside. And what we did was we used I think it was pantyhose, some kind of stretchy material. I don't remember now because it's been like 10 years. And then you'd fill that up with soil and you'd wrap it and then wrap moss around it, around your plants. But all those have since died. Here's another one. Oh, hello, Jeanette. Hello, Anne. Hello, my friends. And here's another one. We were working on this one today. It's good. We made all these today. There's another one over here. Where is it? Oh, this one. Isn't that cute? This one was already a pre-made one. You can get these from any craft store. Even at your big box stores will have fake plants. And it's pretty easy to make this part of it. I just used this sort of moss. If you live in Florida, you just go outside and pick that sphagnum moss and then either dye it or hit it with spray paint. I think this is probably dyed. But it's pretty. They're very fast and easy to make, and so I wanted to share that because I was like, we were doing this all morning long, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Wake him up. He was dozing off. So as I was making this, he was chasing the strings. What do you think, Marty? They look good? He's not impressed, but you know what? They look good hanging. And if you have a place that has a lot of natural light, then you can do the real ones. But my house, we live in the woods, and so there are a lot of tall trees, and so we have a lot of shade. And all of the type of things that I made I put them on the porch. They eventually died, but they looked good while they were alive. Here's another one. This was using a pre-made ball. Check this one out. Oh, hello, Mary. Made it to the start of the show. Isn't this one cute? I don't know what these things are supposed to be. Probably like dandelions, but they look good stuck in there. I haven't tied the thread to this. So these are going to hang from the ceiling in our set. Like we made this, Hobie already made a owl puppet, but these are what is happening here. You see these hanging down plants? That's what this is. That's what we're making here today. We'll make some. And I also got some plants for this little guy. That's a little mandragora in a pot. Cute. I have some plants that have that kind of same weird look about them with a bulbous root system. And I thought, hey, I could make my own into a hand puppet. We have a hand puppet that's this frog, but this frog here. But I don't have the finished one here to show you. It's coming. It's all coming together. It's finally happening. That's what I keep telling Azalea. And then I immediately quote Beth and say, things are going to change. I can feel it. And then she makes the face that she just now made. Which is like goofy. She says goofy. It is goofy. All right, I'm going to flip this around so you guys can see what we're doing. What's that cat acting like he's so tired? See, it's been a long day. All right, I'm going to flip this around. Oh, hello, Nilda. Oh, here, we can see a little bit better. Here's what I've been doing. This is so cute. He's just this little puppet. I don't know why I said he. It's obviously a she. So cute. Wiggle its head around. And this will be one of our characters on the show. It's going to be a show about folk tales, crafts, and puppetry. What more could you want in a show? All right, I'm going to set that aside for the moment. And I'm going to show how to do this part. So this is the one I was saying earlier. Was a hand. This is already something you could buy at the craft store. And if you could feel this right now, it's very soft and very texturally delightful. I have yet to put the hanging string on it, but I wanted a bunch of different sizes. So, Morphing Design says, Marty's exhausted from keeping all the strings in line. Yes, that's his job, is to manage us and make sure that we're on the straight and narrow, working hard. Azalea picked this out at the craft store. She's going to paint the eggs with a glaze of light blue and make a headband, like a little cute. Are you going to add any flowers to it or any kind of greenery? That might be cute. Look at this.
Maybe.
You could actually put it like this. Look at this, daughter. You know, now when I say, I'm not going to, should I say that? I analyze on with her all day long. I'm going to say, I have one daughter. And then she's like, Mom, you got to stop doing that.
Yeah, you did.
I got to stop. But how can you? And it's like I think this is cute. Anyway, let's get to making these things. So I'm gonna make one that's a little bit bigger size today. So you can get yourself one of these floral balls made out of styrofoam, or you can get the white ones. They're a little bit cheaper, aren't they? I think they're like $1 or $2 cheaper, but we didn't find them until after we already bought these. You won't even be able to see it. So I'm getting some of this moss out. It makes a mess. Just so you know, it makes a big mess. You just sweep up afterwards. Okay. I'm going to put this here and spread out. Put that out of the way. First, I was going to make one of the smaller ones. Maybe I'll make a small one. What do you think, Azalea? Small or large?
Small first.
Small first, she says. Okay, we'll do that. If you could see in here, there's a lot of dust coming off of this. Yeah, I don't know what that kind of machine is. So this is sphagnum moss. If you live in the Savannah, Florida, in the South, this grows on the trees. Spray paint it, dye it. This is already came in a bag. And it has a kind of an interesting texture. But it has little bits. I don't know. Maybe I'll just tuck that on the inside. No one needs to see it. All right, where'd that twine go? So I have this twine, comes in different sizes, and I have found this. This is kind of interesting. Maybe I'll do this on it too. This already came like that. Maybe I'll try it and see what happens. Might be easier if it has a little bit of a shape. I've been getting about 3 feet of twine. We made a bunch of different sizes. And you know what else we're going to do that's kind of cute? Where'd he go? I made this little house. This is made out of polymer clay. The only thing, though, is I should have made it hollow on the bottom. I don't know what I was thinking about. But it could be like, you know what this would be cute as? Is a little jumping spider house. I don't have a jumping spider, but for some reason, Pinterest keeps showing me little hides and little houses. It's like, I don't know who you guys think I am, but I'm going to want this. But I have enough creatures, thanks. I'll need another thing to take care of. Although I used to keep fancy goldfish, now I just have one huge snail. Let's start by making a belt. And if you noticed, I went around that twice. It seems like it holds it a little easier. And then what you want to do is you kind of make you want to make it where you go in halves, I think, so that you can secure as much of this as you can and keep it tucked in. So I wrapped it kind of like, you guys ever make rappled apples? This is kind of the same thing. If you've ever made one of those candy wrapping caramel apple kits, then this will be that's kind of reminds me of it. It's not, and you don't use string. The only part that's kind of like it is wrapping the ball. So see, I did twice and it holds it a little bit easier, I think. And what you want to do is cover up any of the parts where you can see it coming, right here. It needs to be kind of pinned down. You don't want any of that stuff peeking. So kind of smash it down a little bit. I know some of you might be like, why are we doing this? You guys don't even sell stuff like that. Sometimes we like to do some of the crafts that don't have any kind of, I guess it doesn't really make sense for as a business to show stuff that you're not really going to sell. But sometimes it's fun to just craft and make something without the thought of how am I going to make money on this. You've got a little bald spot there. All right, this is looking pretty good. You know, we went to, did I already talk about when we went to Hendersonville and we went to that place with the apple cider donuts?
I think you talked about that the other day.
Oh, it was so good. I don't know if you've ever had an apple cider donut. I didn't have one until Sunday, and it was super delicious. And I'm a diehard what's my favorite donut place? Krispy Kreme. I don't know why I had brain freeze just now. I could not remember the name of it. Weird. Okay. How's that looking? And again, you know, this same technique works with real plants because all you need is to have a little pouch in the middle that's solid that has dirt in the middle, potting soil, and then you can use this kind of moss because this is natural. You just don't, if you don't want the colors, you can get it in the natural color, or you could get the kind of moss that's like this kind of moss, and you can go pick it outside. I did one like this. This is that kind, you know. This is super old. I think I actually know what this is. It might be made out of those cat skills thing. Cat skills. What are those things called?
I have no idea what you're talking about right now. Cattails?
Might be cattails. Or maybe it's, I'm drawing a blank of what that stuff is called. All right, that's looking pretty good. And now I'm going to shove some, maybe I'll put the hanging cord. Oh, and we also got some lights. Check these out. So it had a little thing there that you had to pull out like a piece of tape, and then you could do this. Isn't that cool? It's for the houses. So this was the first house, and this house, obviously I did it wrong because I put a bottom cattails. Yeah, that's what it is. Cattails. Yeah, that's what you said. Thank you. But you can see how cute that would be if you had the right kind of hat, like the bottom removed. You could stick that in there and turn it on when it's time to do filming. But we're not ready for that quite yet. And plus I didn't do it exactly how I wanted to. All right, I'm going to do this here. This side's kind of bulging out, so make this the top. I want it to be a little bit, hopefully I'm making these long enough. I should have measured. I could always add more string to it if I need to. It is kind of a cool light, and they were in a pack. Look at this pack. It came with a bunch for $5.50, 12 of them in there. So if you have a little display of some sort with like a little village in your house, if you do those, I know my mom used to have little houses that she liked to decorate. So those might be cool. Although I don't know if I would. You know what? Actually, that might be cool in jewelry. I didn't think about that. I cut that one really short. Hopefully it's not too short. So there's the hanging part. Man, that is super short. Oh well. All right, so I'm going to take apart some of these. They're pretty easy to, I butchered these things. Now they're going to be for this. So let's do that. I can't get that thing out. I cut it too short on this end too, or not enough. And let's see, these are already kind of messed up. Look at how the teeth, there's like light passing if you look. See that? Man, butchered. I don't know what I cut up with that. Probably something like this. You're not supposed to cut steel with it. But there you go. Sometimes you just do what you want and then you have to pay it later and you won't cut anything. So we decided to wrap them because we tried hot glue first. You could hot glue these in, but they're not going to get a lot of actual, like they're not going to be handled. Yeah, Azalea did. Which one did you hot glue? This one?
Yeah, all I did was hot glue because it's hollow on the inside and they were moving otherwise. So all I did was I stuck the plants in place and they were wobbling around, and I just put hot glue around the base of the plants when they on the ball, and then I put some of that extra moss on it to cover up the glue, and it made it sturdy.
Whenever we did this, we used ferns that we found outside, and it looked pretty good. And then we got some some of them we did some herbs that looked really good too. Again, if you have the sunlight in your house, you could do that. And then you mist it and soak it when you need to water it. That might have been the part where I did not water them enough. This has a wire through it, and it's pretty cool. I might use some of this here. It might be cool. Maybe I'll make one that has a pattern around it. What do you think of that idea?
It's cute.
You like this on there? Do you think it's a good match? Some of these, there's no real, like, I added stuff to them. You never know if it looks super realistic or not. But I feel like from a distance, it's pretty realistic. Hanging in a set design, Today, it was kind of fun when we were working. Whenever we're on set, Greg he puts on his art director hat. He does art director work still to this day. He worked on this show called, what was it called? Straight Up with Steve Austin, and they did 2 seasons. Our friend Bob is an executive producer, and he comes up with shows and then pitches them to different networks. And that's one of the reasons we're working on this, because we know someone that can help us get this in front of people. But if it doesn't, we could always just put it on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. Let me see if I can put that in there with these. I'm going to use this to help us force this down in. Styrofoam ball to give it some texture. It looks pretty cool. What do y'all think of this business?
Looks
I don't know if you guys knew that we did all this extra
shenanigans
on the side. The hopes of coming up with a puppet show. Yeah, that's looking pretty cool. Maybe I'll add this to it. What do you think, Zoe? Do you think it needs another layer?
Yeah, you could add some flowers to it.
I got these, but they're not. This is for something else. Look how realistic these are. Realistic? Some of these fake plants that they have nowadays are they look very neat. Look at this one, is pretty cool. What do you think of these, Azoya?
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah, maybe I'll put that in there too. I was saving them for the Mandragora that I was working on. I can always get more. Oh, thank you. It is a super cool project. If you guys are interested, go over on Facebook and check out Hobie Ford. And you'll see some of the props that we've been working on.
And the World Tree.
And it's called the World Tree. That's the name of the project, is the World Tree. So we don't have much on there right now, but you can see some on Hobie's Facebook page if you want to just take a glance at it. And you guys can be like, hey, I knew them when they were just starting out before it became a worldwide success. You never know. I don't know. I feel like the world needs something like this, something soft and soothing and not too exciting. You know, we were watching Alien Earth last night on Hulu. I don't know if y'all have been watching that, but it's kind of a stressful, you know, I mean, no big surprise. I mean, it's it's xenomorphs, so it's going to have a little bit of a level of terror. But man, it had me just so worried about the characters. But you know, in all those, usually everybody dies except for Ripley. So I'm trying to brace myself. Okay, maybe I'll go in a pattern that's kind of like this. I haven't thought of the name. I haven't thought of Castaway in so long. Gumnut Lane says, LOL, it looks like Wilson from the movie Castaway. Oh my God, I loved that movie. And I cried so hard when Wilson was lost. It was such a good movie. Kind of makes you, it made me even more fearful of when I was on a plane, that's for sure. Looking cute. I don't know if it's going to stay. I might have to, there's a wire on the inside of this one, so what I might be able to do is just like kind of wrap it around here. So I'll do that just now. Oh, Hobie's on, the World Tree. Thanks, Hobie. Awesome. I think these are looking good. The more we add to it, it's kind of layer by layer we're working on this project. Every week we've been plugging away on it, except for like here or there when Hobie's out of town doing shows. There's another one. Could use a little bit more, I feel like. Maybe we'll cover up some of this. Add some of these guys, have a different texture. I like all the different, you know, the real ones are ferns, and you can get ferns in pretty much every shape and size you can think of. I found one pretty recently called rainbow, or not rainbow, or what was it? It was called rainbow moss. It was so beautiful. I would love to find more of it. Oof. Got a long stick. Oh, hello, Robin. Nilda says, Hobby Lobby has wonderful silk and good quality flowers. We got most of these from Hobby Lobby. Some of them are from Michael's. But you can go online and get some too. The other ones that we were making had, like these have a shape that is kind of rounded. The other ones are going to be more droopy and have things hanging down like a waterfall. You know, I don't know if I love these. How do you feel about them, Zoe? Do you like it or do you not like it?
I like the flowers.
What do you think about that one? Did I put I did put a hanging thing on it. Okay, so there's another one. That came out pretty good. I think we should make one that has some hanging. I'll do a big one next. Sweep up here. Looking good. We'll do this one. Or no, maybe I'll do this big half one. In theory, I could make it where just the top and then everything comes down like an octopus. That could be cool. The only thing with that is that there's some of them are kind of heavy. Some of these flowers, and they will just fall right out. So I don't know if I'll do that. Let's see, because see, I have these. They might be too big. Maybe I can go up a little bit higher. Up a little higher. I'm trying to figure this out. But the point of this is to sort of disguise some of the areas where our set has a wrinkle or two because it's made out of fabric. And this will kind of, your eye will just kind of glance over it and you won't see it. And it will add to the texture and beauty of the room. We're trying to make something that looks really cozy and really inviting. A place where people will just enjoy spending time in. All right. What do you think, Azalea? What's your thoughts? On the half one, what do you think?
We should do that one.
Maybe I want to do like this smaller, might be more manageable. What's your thought on that? Might be a little easier. Maybe so. Yeah, so far, since when we got home, we made a few of them. And I think they look good. I'm happy with them. I want to make the big ones next. There's a few big ones. So I'll do this one next, and I'll wrap it. Maybe I can wrap it a different way. Get some of these out of the way. Make a little bit more space. This is a type of, it looks like a little bit like eucalyptus. And there's also another one. And I don't have to use all of these on the same. I could take pieces off. I might take a few pieces off of it. That might work well too. Maybe I'll do that. So come on, come free. Kind of come falling apart. But they're pretty easy to put back together if they do. Oh, hello, Lorraine. Oh, why am I trimming? I didn't even wrap this yet. I need to wrap it. This is the product here. And this was like $10 for the bag. You should see my floor. It makes such a mess, but it's easy to sweep up. A lot easier to sweep up than glitter. I was telling Azalea, I was like, look at this, man. If I'd known I was going to need this when I was home last, I would have just picked some off the trees at my mom's house. This is all over. But it's more of a gray color at home. So this, I feel like, has been dipped or something. So you want to make it so that it's going to be spread it out a little bit. So it's kind of a nice even layer. And this works a little bit better. First we tried hot glue, and if you know anything about hot glue, sometimes it can melt right through super glue or styrofoam. That's what I meant to say. So the hot glue made little hard spots that you couldn't push the flowers through. So that didn't work that great. This now you can add hot glue and it will stick to the outside. So I get about 3 feet of twine. What I'll do tonight is just finish all of these out, and then we'll have them ready to hang up into the set. I'm pretty excited. The more we work on it, it just feels really good to go in and look around and see all of our hard work, all of the time and effort spent in designing and carving. There's so many props. and so many styles of puppetry. Today we learned about shadow puppets, and I haven't really done anything with shadow puppets, but now after seeing Hobie's he's working on a project with a friend of his that plays this instrument called I think he called it a ginch, and I was like, I have never in my life heard that word before, and it starts with a Q. So it's kind of interesting. It's like looks like a long hammered dulcimer type thing. And it features those little puppets, but it's like such amazing to see the behind the scenes of how everything comes together. Now I want to do something with shadow puppets. Look really fun. I mean, I used to do them with my hands, but I never actually made shadow puppets. So I'm excited to try it out. He had some that were colorful and made with hide. I think he said it was goat skin or something. Oh, that's pretty cool. Although it's not real. Here's a stick. We'll just leave that stick in there. It's already buried. This one might need more. I mean, it is a bigger piece, so it might need more layers of twine to kind of wrangle it up. Will that neat? Come on. I want it to tie off. It's like the smallest thing. It's like I didn't leave enough. But I'm determined. And I made it. With like 1/2-inch tails. Won't even need to trim them. They're so short. But I thought they looked really cool. The first time I saw these was probably, I don't know, it was a long time ago. I went into this gallery and they were hanging in the middle and they had the paintings on the outside. It was a really magical gallery space. And that image stuck in my brain. And I thought, man, they could, if you had hanging round glass type, almost like teeny hanging aquarium, how cool would that be? So much potential. The fun part about it is that I'm basically getting to decorate the space in like my dream space. I was like, what do I want to see here? And it's pretty awesome. I was painting the walls and I was like, I've always wanted to paint walls like this, and now I'm doing it. And I'm going to do this, and it works. At first I was like, I don't know if this kind of painting, it's like a washy watercolor, but in acrylic, if it's going to work. It does work. So maybe someday I'll do it on one of my walls. But it's fun to test out different painting styles on the set walls and see that it works, and that it's beautiful. These are pretty fun to make, by the way. You can see that I could keep doing this all day long. And it's fun to kind of just, play with it. We were talking about how they could have like little faces that they're kind of like, who said it was like Wilson Gumnut? So just like Wilson. They do kind of look like it's just one step away from already being a puppet. We're pretty good. And the other thing we were working on was our game pieces. I put away some of my jewelry for a minute. I was doing a lot of jewelry making this whole week. And I'm at the point now where I need to just add clasps. And that's always kind of, it's my least favorite part of the whole thing. But I want to get myself in the mood for clasp adding on, or just finishing out the necklaces. That's always the least best part, I feel like. I think a lot of you know where I'm coming from. I'm gonna add these, I think, so they hang down. Oh, hello, Melanie. Hello, my friends. We are, if you're just joining us, we are making props called kokedama. It's a Japanese moss ball. They've been made for many years. And what we're doing is we're making them with artificial plants for our set for the show called The World Tree. Now this is a heavy piece. Hopefully this will stay in there without having to add hot glue to it, but we'll see. I kind of love that sound. You know, when I have grown these are called string of pearls, and they're kind of hard to grow. So this is kind of awesome. You know what else is hard for me to grow? Staghorn fern. And I told Azai, I said, you know what, we could make them, and then I never have to worry about killing them, because I've had many, many, many staghorn ferns that have died by my hand. And people are always like, they're so easy to take care of. Just put them in the bathroom. I'm like, listen, my bathrooms don't have great big old windows. Now this one is giving me Wilson vibes right here, because it's kind of like the hair. Right. I don't know. I think this is kind of a different, I've made such a mess over here. I don't know if folks like this, but it seems like, we'll see. I see the amount of people watching dropping, so I'll have to keep that in mind. That fake plant making or arranging is probably not high on watchers' lists. Looks looking pretty good though. Kind of loving it. Marty's out cold.
Standard.
Yeah. That one doesn't want to stick in there. All right, what else does this one need? A couple more smalls. Need to have a couple more, but boy, is it heavy. All these heavy-duty plants on there are making it where this one I'm going to have to be extra mindful about hanging it, making the hanging part very sturdy. Lorraine says, I think it's cool. Thank you. Oh, and I see Pat. Hello, Pat. Pat loves it. You know, I also like to make floral arrangements. Usually I don't make them out of plastic. I usually grab stuff that I find outside. We have an okay garden. It's kind of gone free and wild out there. But occasionally, every once in a while, we will have a pretty nice, we'll attend to our raised beds, but they've been neglected again this year. One year when we grew plants, we had those atomic tomatoes from Baker Street Seeds, and those came out really awesome. So this one for sure looks like a person's head, like a Medusa head. Look at that. It's kind of cute though. Is this lame?
Azalea is lame. Yes, don't do that.
All right, sorry. Okay.
Maybe, but
I don't know. I was just playing with it.
I mean,
one more. Long one. I need the longest one. So now y'all know how to make a kokedama out of fake plants. If you've ever wanted to know, now you have full knowledge of that. These also, it should be noted, will never die. That's the other thing, because this is on our set, so we didn't want something that we had to sit there and water. But we will have some plants. We're going to put some real plants, because there's some that are shade-loving house plants, that are not too demanding, that will fill out. But some of the stuff gets expensive, if you have too many plants that are kind of sensitive. I have a bunch of plants, and the ones that live and thrive in my house are the ones that just really like to be neglected. All right, there's another one, but I need to make the hanging part. So, all right. Pat says a bunch of faces would be cute. Yeah, you know what? Hobie said that too, because he was like, we could put eyes on them. I said, that's cute. That's super cute. All right, I like it the way it is. If you could see it I need to make it so it hangs. But you have some lights, and that would be pretty cool. All right, I don't know. I think that looks pretty good. So far we made, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I have plenty of fixings to do more, so that's kind of fun. We're going to load the whole ceiling with these. We're going to give it a real witchy vibe. All right, I'm going to sweep this. All right, today I think will be a short day. All right. What else? Do I have anything else to show, little daughter?
No.
All right. Oop. It's that behind me. Okay, flip this camera time so you can get the full look. All right, friends, here's the one I just finished up. What do you think? Look pretty good? Could be better. What's your thoughts, Azalea?
I think
it needs
cute.
the hanging string, but I didn't do the hanging part. Pretty cute. Marty, what do you think? He didn't even crack his eye open. This will be a challenge to hang because it's kind of heavy. I'm going to set this one down, and then we'll look at the other one over here. And then here's this one. They're getting kind of, I need a place to hang these up. The cats are like, what is happening? It's pretty cute. Here's another one. Here's this one. It doesn't have its hanging thing. And then here's this one. Pretty realistic. I think it's pretty realistic. That's one we did just now. Or no, maybe it was this one. So you can imagine them in a grouping hanging from the ceiling. So there's going to be a bunch. We're going to have a few really large ones. So that'll be kind of fun to get that. I'm sitting here going, where am I going to put these? I need a kind of a rack to hang them on. You should see the table. It's loaded. All right, friends, let's see. Oh, Lawrence is beautiful. Thank you. They were kind of fun to make. I'm not going to lie. We had a good time making these. And there's a lot of extra, so I'm excited to put them up. I want to take a video and show how good it looks. So if you want to follow our project, you can, Hobie dropped the link earlier if you want to track back through the comments. It's the World Tree, and it's on Facebook. I'm not sure if we have a YouTube yet. It's coming soon. So if you're interested, give it a follow. Give us some likes and shares. And let's see the project grow. So far, it's been just us working on it, but the more folks we tell about it, the more folks that want to come over and work on it with us. So it's kind of exciting how it's giving that sense of community. All right, I had this light just turned on randomly. They're so charming. I can't wait to make some little houses to plug in, and maybe I can do it where it's where you can just lift the whole thing and pop the light bulb inside a little dome home. Kind of like from that game from a long time ago. What was it called? Ribbon or something. I don't remember. It's from years and years ago. He could smell me doing this. Can't even see it. Oh, thanks, Pat. Pat says, thank you for showing this. Fun, fun, fun. I'm so glad. And Hobie says, looking great. Thanks. I can't wait to put it in. Put them up in the set. Jeanette says, I like them. Well, thanks, friends. We are working hard. I want to show everything, but we're trying to, it's actually kind of hard to, his tongue is already out waiting. I'm covered in that stuff. Here, honey. Watch this. He'll get up on his hind legs. That's so cute. Although when he eats it like this, let's see how high he can go. He's strong. See how strong this cat is? You can see his big claws. He's not using full claw though, thankfully, because he could. He's actually a very strong cat. You missed a spot. It's a good boy. It's a good cat. Said he should be on the show somehow. All right, my friends, we're going to wrap it up and go for a nighttime walk around the neighborhood. So we have some fun things planned. I have a crystal kit that I've been sitting on for a minute. I don't know how y'all feel about quartz crystal, but I love it and I use it pretty much continuously in everything I make. I feel like it's a very beautiful amplifying stone. And I have a few of those. I'm going to have them, hopefully have them ready. Kind of like an older way that we did kits, so that it's, you get this many of this one and this many of this different stones. So they're all equal. But I have a limited amount. I managed to get some quartz crystal, really beautiful water clear from, oh man, it was from a pick box that a friend of mine sent me, that they were getting rid of their collection from years and years. I just bought all of it. So there was some really awesome. I was about to pass out with delight when I saw these quartz beads that were so perfect. And right now, I was talking to my friend Jen, and she was telling me quartz was really hard to get for some reason, because it's trending now, in jewelry making. And you know what happens when things are trending? That means the cost of things go up. So fortunately, these are not on. They're super good quality, but I did not pay a fortune for them. So that's, what's that mean? It's good times for all of us. So that's coming on Sunday. So hopefully I'll have it done. If not, maybe the next Wednesday. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining us today. We had a really good time making these artificial kokedama with you. So if you're interested in seeing more of our set, we are going to be posting more videos on the World Tree, and you can at least see some of the painting that we were doing on the background set. We will see you this Wednesday. All right, friends, we love you out there, and we hope you are creative all week long. All right, good night.